there, and welcome to this week's broadcast. I am Ann LaFollette, and I am a surface pattern designer and a creative coach. And I am very excited to be here today to share 3 very special student stories with you and what these students taught me. One of the things I love about teaching is that I learn as much from my students as I teach them. And I'm always open to learning new things, and it's an incredibly grateful and blessed place for me to be because I love to teach surface pattern design, and you guys know that's what I teach, but I also love, while I'm teaching that, to learn from my students. And I have 3 amazing stories to share with you today. One of the things that brings me an incredible amount of joy and frankly gets me to jump out of bed in the morning is learning about my students and exactly what it is that they want to do as they learn surface pattern design. And each and every one of you is completely unique. So it was very hard for me to pick just 3 stories from the hundreds of people who took my course last year, but I am going to do my best and share these stories, which I think are very, very special. And then maybe next year I will be able to talk about you. So let's get started. Heather Lowry joined my creative community last year, and she is a very accomplished woodblock printer. And I actually was not very familiar with this whole field. So this was a way for me to actually enter a new world, learn something new myself, and then realize what an amazing opportunity there was for Heather to take all of the skills that she's acquired in woodblock printing and apply them to surface pattern design to expand her business. And Heather came to me with this most amazing artistic talent. You have to go check out her website, which is inkwoodpress.com. There's an image of it right there. And look at her work. It's absolutely beautiful. And you can tell from looking at it that it's very 3-dimensional. There's a lot of tactileness to her work because she is carving to create her woodblock prints. She's doing carving. So she's creating 3-dimensional objects. And then she's creating beautiful art prints that she sells. And she's now teaching workshops to teach other people how to do this. But one of the things that was challenging for her when she came into surface pattern design was the fact that surface pattern design, while you work by hand to create your designs, you then bring them into the computer and you create digital artwork or digital designs that you then put on notebooks or iPhone cases or fabric or anything that needs and will look beautiful with a pattern on it. But you go from this tactile place into this place where until you turn it into a product again that you can touch and feel, it is very computer oriented. And so one of the really interesting things about her journey was trying to figure out, well, wait a minute, I don't want to lose that tactile feeling. She loves to tell this story about how when she goes to a museum or when she goes to a craft show, she's always the person asking the artist, can I touch your work? Can I feel that? And so she didn't want to lose that sense of both the dimensionality that she can create when she's doing woodblock printing when she's working in the digital world. And so this was a big aha moment for me to figure out, well, how can I help her with this transition? How is she going to need to think about this? What are some of the ways that I might be able to guide her to ensure that she's gaining that, she's not losing that tactile feeling and she's able to actually acquire it inside Adobe Illustrator, for example, and in her designs. And so one of the things we really worked on together was background textures and creating amazing dimensionality in her surface pattern designs by ensuring that it felt like there were layers and layers and layers of work there. And you absolutely can do that so that your patterns look dimensional and have depth to them, and you can do that in a variety of different ways, one of which is adding background textures. And so that was just an amazing kind of both exploratory journey for both of us and an incredible way for her to build her business and expand her business from just doing woodblock printing to adding this whole new dimension to her business, which is surface pattern design, and yet also understanding because her unique joy comes from the 3-dimensionality of her artwork. So I thought that was both an incredible story and also an incredible success in terms of how she was able to make that transition and kind of keep the best of both worlds. So the next person is Kathleen Lambert, and what she taught me is that the possibilities are endless. Kathleen also found me last year, joined my programs, and she comes from a completely different background. She was living on the East Coast. She's been a minister for many, many years, and yet her husband recently got moved to California. And she was kind of bummed. She has children who she obviously manages and makes sure that they are going to be in all the best possible schools in whatever area she's living in. And yet she had also a really fabulous job that she had to leave because, of course, she was going to come to California to help kind of restart her whole family in California. And she has been very creative all her life, and her orientation on her creativity is she loves to put sayings or words on everyday objects. And you can go check out her work at KathleenLambertArt.com, and you'll see examples of this where she likes to not only just put words on everyday objects and create artwork out of them, but she likes there to be sort of a double entendre. Like one of her pieces of art is the words are, "You've always had the power, my dear," and it's a painting that she did on top of an electrical plate that has sort of the plug holes in it. It's fabulous. It's absolutely fabulous. So as she was starting to discover surface pattern design and trying to figure out, okay, how do I reinvent myself in this new town? How do I make sure that if I don't want to go back into the ministry, I figure out another career option for myself? She has not only wanted to continue down the path of the artwork she likes to do in her spare time, but also how she could create a community for women in her immediate area who are going to become more empowered through their art. Now, art is an amazing way to both transform or move through change. And it can help and heal depression. It can help be an amazing conduit to bring more joy into your life when you're going through a big transition. That was certainly the case for me because I pivoted into art after I lost my big fancy corporate job. And so this was another example of someone using art to really transform their life and then figure out, well, how do I make money at it? And she continues to go down this path of creating a membership for women who are going to use art as a transformative practice in their lives to help empower them to do what they really were put on this earth to do, and also to ensure that she's still throwing in that and including that humor and those double entendres every step along the way. And I cannot wait to see how this membership comes together and how she incorporates surface pattern design in it. And I believe she's going to be offering workshops soon, and if I lived closer to her, I would absolutely do one with her. But again, I would not have thought about a membership concept for how to bring surface pattern design into your community. And I think that is another example of just how the possibilities are endless about how you decide to embrace surface design and how you want to use it to bring your own sense of purpose and joy forward in the world. Now, the next person I want to talk about is Sherri Goodall. And Sherri also found me last year, and Sherri's situation is very, very unique. She has fibromyalgia, which is, if you're not familiar with it, which is a degenerative issue where it's very hard for you to do any repetitive motions or for you to sit and do work for any length of time. And so she unfortunately had to leave a job she absolutely loved, and she's always been creative, and so she's been trying to figure out, how do I lean into my creativity and again sort of help me manage this new life circumstance that I am in as she continues to try to heal and to move through or really live with fibromyalgia. And so what's great about surface pattern design, and also specifically learning about it online, is that you can do it at your own pace. You can watch the videos and practice when you're able to do so. You can do it in long chunks, or in her case, in very short chunks. You can take breaks as often as you need and come back to the material. With my programs, you have my Pattern Design Academy, specifically my 8-week signature program. You get lifetime access, so you can do it at your own pace and come back to it over and over and over again. And so what she really taught me was not only an incredible amount of grace to embrace the situation that she's in and figure out how to make the best out of it and how to make the most from it, but also how surface pattern design, specifically as a new skill that she acquired, was a way for her to bring her beautiful work into the world in a way that she didn't think was going to be possible. And so it still gives me chills when I tell her story, because I think that it is another example of how transformative art can be, and specifically how surface pattern design provides endless possibilities for you. For example, in Heather's situation, to grow and expand your business, in Kathleen's situation, to actually create community around it, and in Sherri's situation, to have it really help you transform and support you through a health issue, and bring your creativity into the world. So I hope that you like these stories. I am super excited to share them with you. I would love to share your story sometime later this year. And if you haven't joined my creative community, please do so by joining Anne's Art Club. I'll leave a link down below the video. And then I want to let you know that next week I will be opening enrollment in my signature program, the Pattern Design Academy, that I just mentioned. It's an 8-week online training and coaching program. I only offer it a couple times a year. It's an amazing A to Z experience that helps you bring your artwork into surface pattern designs that you can then put on almost any product that you can imagine. And it's a joyful experience. The community that comes together every time I open enrollment is absolutely amazing. You'll learn so much from each other, and I want to make sure that you know. Also down below, I will leave a link to the enrollment area. You'll join the wait list because it's not open yet. I only am opening it for 4 days starting on January 20th. Check it out. If you click the link that's below this video, you'll get all of the details about it. And because you can't purchase it yet, you'll be on a wait list, and I'll make sure that you get a notification that says, yes, it's open, which starts on January 20th. All right? If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Also, share it with your friends. I would love to expand the people who have an opportunity to listen and watch to my videos. I hope you find them helpful. And as I always like to say in closing, I am Anne LaFollette, and it's never too late to create. Bye for now, and I'll see you again next week.